How do you customize your child's education, right? Like, you want the world for them. And can the public school system provide everything that you as a parent want for them? I don't believe so. In fact, there's no customization in that process at all. And what I'm going to share with you today is how I'm living the dream that my wife and I established for how to customize our kids' education, and how you can too. I want them to learn about the world in the world, not necessarily from a textbook. This is what school looks like in the Krohn household. So I've got 4 children, and they're all unique and they're all different, and they all have different strengths and weaknesses. And that means that there are some things that they're really good at and some things that they're not so good at. And right now we're still living in a society that says, get good grades, go to college, and then work for somebody else. And college is career training, and there's a place for that. But it is not the summation of all education that children truly need. In fact, school measures math and science and history and fact-finding, and you memorize things. But we live in a brand new day and age. The information age has gone and passed. Right now, with the click of the button, Dr. Google can tell me anything that I want to know. When I went to school, it was about memorizing facts and learning things and sequences, and there's a place for that. But what I've done recently is I've taken my kids out of the public school system. I've hired a college professor, university professor, and I basically found the most eclectic individual who's in a rock band, and yet this teacher has a PhD that he got learning a secondary language in Germany, has toured and traveled the world. I mean, super fascinating human being. He's athletic, he's fit, has a passion for learning, passion for the arts. And what I'm doing is I'm giving my children an education that is customized around giving them 2 things in particular. One is I want them to learn about the world in the world, not necessarily from a textbook. So we spend a lot of time traveling. There isn't this formal like classroom type of experience. And the second thing is asking, how do we unlock each one of my children? I'm getting his perspective, my wife's perspective. My daughter Olivia, she loves art. And so she goes to art class and she's taking more classes, and now she's working on getting art that could go into like an art show, and it lights her up. I have another daughter who is super passionate about dragons, super passionate about reading, and in her life she's writing a book right now. Like, that's her creative outlet. And so I remember I went to take her to Brandon Moole to actually get a signature on one of her favorite, book series, and trying to introduce her to artists and trying to say, hey, does that awaken you? My son, Kaiser, he's super engineer minded. So I purchased for him these big engineering projects, and I give him these manuals with like 1,000 pages, and then he has to figure out how to put these STEM projects together. And Daniel's like this physical outdoor warrior that wants to rough and tumble. Like he's such a little boy's man. Like they're all so different, right? And so customizing education says, what are they naturally good at? And how do I actually give them the training and education that caters to the strength? And also, my favorite part, what are the things that society says they need to know that frankly just aren't that important to me? I mean, my daughter will have her GED by the time she's 16 years old. She'll have college options if she wants to pursue a career that requires college education, or maybe she even wants to have the social experience. But for me, it's about saying, what are you good at? And let's put emphasis there. Let me get you mentors. Let me find you men and women that are world-class in that vein, and let's help you excel in that gift, in that ability. And here's what I hope happens. I hope that my children will create a life where there's a lot more passion, a lot more excitement, natural, organic excitement for learning. But the other thing is, I also have an opportunity to skew my children's education. So this is what school looks like in the Krohn household. My kids, we pulled them from public school, hired a private teacher from the university, and today we're doing botany lessons, we're doing history lessons, we're talking about the desert, geology. But today my kids also get to learn how to drive these amazing beasts. It's just a part of their world education. My wife and I had a dream. When we first got married, we said we want to give our children world-class education out in the world, not in the classroom. And this is what it looks like. What you hear in the background, that motor, that is actually my child's education going on right now. My wife and I hired an amazing, fantastic professor, like I said, from the university. And this individual is basically the teacher of our own private school. And he brings in other experts that have other expertise on other subject matter and material. And we bring them in to help augment and basically create this customized education for my children. And that's what it looks like right now. It's like happening right here under the blue sky and the beautiful sun, helping them figure out how to customize their approach to life. Part of customizing your child's education is exposing them to a variety of different things and really finding out like what lights them up, what gets them excited. You know, today we are at a glass blowing factory and the kids are assembling glass. It's artistic, it's an expression. They're finding out what they like, what's annoying, what's fun, what's irritating, what they can get lost in. I think all kids like art, but ultimately whatever you select in life is going to be more than a science. It's going to be an art. You know, my wife and I, when we got married, we had a dream. And the dream was to give our children this world-class education that we would help custom create for them. And that meant traveling the world. And so I look at my trips that we've taken them on and the trips of where we're going in the future. You know, we took my children a couple months back into the Everglades, and we literally got with some amazing backwards people that is their life and what they do and gator hunt and everything. And I wanted them to experience that. I want my children to learn about the world firsthand. I'm so passionate about it because as any good parent does, we want the world for them. But I had to do something first that could make that world possible for them. I dedicated a decade of my life to building enough wealth so that I wouldn't just struggle financially for 40 years, and I didn't want to be a saver for 40 years and not save enough. I said, in 5 or 10 years, I'm going to build all the wealth I need so that I can live and bring my children on this great adventure of life. And that's what I did. I was financially retired by the age of 26 years old, and then I continued building wealth. And for me, that was a necessary part of customizing my children's education. Not that it takes money, but it does take my time. It means that I can't be distracted by full-time effort into a career without figuring out how I can actually back that into helping give my children everything, which means more of me, more of my thoughts, more of my mind, more of an emotionally competent father that's available and ready for them. I did that through the shortest way that I knew how to build wealth, that didn't care that I was so young at the time and didn't care that I didn't have money, didn't care that I was in debt. I chose real estate investing. And frankly, now I'm teaching my children entrepreneurship. I'm teaching them how to earn money for themselves. I'm teaching them that in life, if you want a career where you work for someone else, that's awesome. And if you feel inspired and you have the gumption to say, I want to do something for me, or I want to lead other people, or I want to build something inside of an organization, or I want to have my own business, then I'm giving them those skills and abilities as well. And for me, that started with real estate because my first mentor taught me, he said, Kris, if you buy 10 homes and you make $100,000 on each one of them, then you're a millionaire. And I thought, well, you know what? With $1 million, I can afford a lifestyle that would enable me to do a lot of really great things for my children. And by the way, if you want to learn more about that, I've written a book all about the shortcuts of creating wealth in real estate. It's called The Strait Path to Real Estate Wealth. And you can pick up a free copy. It's a gift from me to you. There's a link below. You can grab that. And I hope that it helps you on your journey, because ultimately you're going to have to ask, if you want to customize your kid's education, what does that mean? What is your vision? I've shared my adventure and what it looks like for me. And I hope I look back 20 years from now and I'm proud of the choices that we made, and hopefully we did enough things well enough and right enough that my children will be happy with the way we did childhood for them. Next generation, I hope, will improve upon whatever we come up with. But I really wanted to shoot this video today to inspire you to know that you don't have to be wealthy to start, but you should have that happening in the background to enable more opportunity. And then in the meantime, consider what other educational options you really have. Maybe you can customize by having your child in public school. Maybe there's a charter school that would suit them better. Maybe there's a private school option, or maybe it's what we do, which is I can't find a private school that I want, and I don't want them in public school, so I'm gonna create my own private school, which is I'm hiring my own teacher and we're customizing their education. There's all these options. Whatever you do, care. Care enough to find a way to customize, and there's always a way. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it inspires you to do just one thing that will add something unique and beautiful to your family. And with that, take care, and we'll see you on the next video.
Dropping like rain and waiting to